These victories in Trump 2.0, they wouldn't have been possible without Trump successfully naming not one, not two, but three of the justices in Trump 1.0. Looking at the current political and national landscape, an analogy here might be useful. In poker, a full house is three of one card value and a pair of another card value, say three jacks and two sevens. You need both sets, three of a kind as well as two of a kind, to have that full house. The same is true with Trump's full house, meaning his first and second term. All the progress we're seeing today, the turning back of the Communist Democrats' agenda, it wouldn't have been possible without Trump's first term, where he sort of more or less locked down the Supreme Court for the most part. Not every ruling's gone great, but the vast majority of them have. The Trump administration has been challenged left, right, and center by rogue judges, mostly appointed by Democrats, who keep trying to shut down Trump's agenda with firing federal workers who've been tagged as bloat, which they are, defunding Planned Parenthood from all of its child killing. They want you to pay for it, deporting illegals who Biden-Harris let in by the tens of millions, the U.S. Marines being dispatched to protect ICE agents and federal property, hastening an end to the entire federal Department of Education, not the states, they're going to get more power, but the federal, complete waste of money, billions, completely shutting down the U.S. southern border, strangling the supply of fentanyl getting into the country. In virtually every single one of these cases, the left has sued and gone running to their courts, cherry-picking their lackey, lower-level Marxist judges who've agreed with them, and they freeze everything Trump does. The U.S. Supreme Court, however, in a stunning series of victories for Trump, again, not every single case, but the vast majority of them, has stepped in and reversed those lower courts in practically every single case. These victories in Trump 2.0, they wouldn't have been possible without Trump successfully naming not one, not two, but three of the justices in Trump 1.0, Gorsuch, Kavanaugh, and Barrett. While in every case they provided enough of the heft to side with, say, Thomas and Alito, and sometimes throw in Roberts, to bring sanity back to U.S. jurisprudence. Without Trump 1.0, the three of a kind, today's victories would not be happening. The next major case that's probably going to be coming before the Supreme Court, unless, of course, there's another ruling, crazy off-the-wall ruling from one of these lackey Marxist cherry-picked rogue judges, it's going to be the birthright citizenship case, which should definitively answer the question, is any child who just happens to be born on American soil, regardless of his parents' legal status, is that child automatically a citizen, an American citizen? Only 15%, we checked, only 15% of 195 countries today allow that. And there's a very strong case that here in America, any such mistaken notion is going to be dismissed by the U.S. Supreme Court come their next term in the fall. If a majority of the justices say no, that the 14th Amendment was speaking specifically about the children of slaves whose parents had been granted citizenship in the aftermath of the Civil War, that single ruling might be enough to bring down the entire Marxist house of cards regarding citizenship. Yay. Of course, that's what the 14th Amendment was written to address, not to confer citizenship on children of people who are here illegally, just happen to be present in the country. In fact, in high school civics, we were taught that the 14th, 15th, and 16th Amendments were collectively known as the Civil War Amendments, not the illegal immigrants get to be children of the country and become citizens for whatever reason amendments. With the final rulings of a majority of high court justices, the deep state's funding is being choked off, like USAID, for example. Their fraudulent voter base of illegals being shrunk. The waste, fraud, and abuse of taxpayer dollars, it's being highlighted, all of it. And an entire government department, one after another, are being slimmed down, and in the case of the education department, they're being just done away with. When history looks back at all of this, you got to wonder, are people going to realize that none of this would have been possible without Trump's full house? Coming to you from Houston, Texas, I'm Gary Michael Voris. God love you.